outsource everything point, and specifically about the role that outside partnerships could, or strategic alliances could have, because some of the firms I've worked with have been very risk averse to work with smaller firms that might have the technology or might have the people that they need, but they want more of the control. So how can you do that outsourcing in partnership, or can you in a large company when you want to get something new and innovative going, or what is your experience there?
Well, I think your comment on the outsourcing was simply it was a very efficient way to control cost and not have to fight battles inside about what the cost of functional support to the business was doing to your rates, right? I mean, that was it.
I mean, if I could step out, the example is if I could step out and hire a billing company to do billing for a product cheaper than the internal billing engine was willing to do it for me, they have a problem. So they can either meet the competitor's price or we just continue to go with somebody else. And sometimes they can do it better and faster because they're smaller. They're taking a small product and building a small billing system for a small product as opposed to building a billing system that can do, gazillion SKUs.
I think that the thing is that, you speak about two things which are obviously potential. The thing about the control and the issue about the value of outsourcing, especially when you're trying to seed something. And I think over here you talk a little bit about, the value of the money and the size and why do it big versus small. And it's, again, an interesting time what's happening, because what we see now is the threshold of the resources you need, whether you're in a big company or you're all by yourself out there trying to do your startup, the amount of resources, the amount of money you need for many, many things, not all these kinds of things, but many things, is much, much lower than it's ever been because of the, there's the global access, there's the network, there's resources, there's all kinds of ways to arbitrage what it is you want, outsource it to make it work for you. In a way, Apple on a big scale, they outsource a lot. They're the general sort of orchestrator of it happening. But even the extent to be able to accomplish the things that are being talked about, like you spoke about AT&T and other places, as long as you don't have this issue of killing people, I think, involved, or the high risk, really is very powerful in enabling people to be able to go out, compete it internally. If the guys internally can do it, fine, but make it a.
But there will be times when you're pursuing an innovation that involves perhaps some exotic technology or somebody's perfect delivery system that's going to smoke Walmart or whatever it might be, where you're going to have to take a chance on a little guy because that's the person that has what you need. And sometimes, and I've been part of them, you get a real disaster on your hands because they didn't quite exactly know what they were talking about. But business is profitable because you take risk and you're rewarded when you do it right. So don't be afraid to take the risk.
So with that, I'd like to thank our panelists.